Let's continue the rankings here on the Fantasy Football Forge. My name is Steve, and we're going to be doing the running back rankings very quickly here. Let me just set up a couple things in case this is the first video you're coming across. Here is the matchup difficulty. Red is good, blue is bad, hot, 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 cold, cold, cold matchups, and then neutral matchups are going to be white. Here are my rankings. These are the ECR rankings, so how I built these rankings start with the ECR, and then I altered them from there. ECR is the expert consensus ranking from Fantasy Pros as of earlier today, which is as of tomorrow have been, I don't know if I said that right, have been Tuesday. So as of Tuesday, and obviously those will change, and so will my rankings. You can find my up-to-date rankings on my website, www.theffforge.com. There is a link down in the description for that. Other than that, let's just get going. I'm sure I'm missing something, but you don't care. Starting off with the top 12 here. Number 1, running backs. I have Austin Ekeler at number 1, Saquon Barkley, Nick Chubb, Christian McCaffrey, Leonard Fournette as my top 5. Then Ramondre Stevenson, Alvin Kamara, Derrick Henry, Kenneth Walker, Jonathan Taylor, DeAndre Swift, Joe Mixon to round that all out. Now, Jonathan Taylor, it's very obvious that he's just not being ranked where he'll end up being ranked. There's no guarantee that he's going to be playing this week, so not everybody has him ranked highly or even ranked at all, and so that's what happens early in the week sometimes. So there's no real need to talk about that. I don't have any, you're going to start Jonathan Taylor if you have him. Same with DeAndre Swift. I'm sure you're going to start him if you have him, unless really, really iffy news comes out as far as his usage, which has happened in the past for him. Even then, you might have to use him. I have him at 11, ECR and him is at 15. I would guess that ECR is suffering from the same thing as Jonathan Taylor, although maybe some good news came out about him that I haven't gotten a chance to see yet, so because he is higher even than Jonathan Taylor. But going up against Dallas, and even though they're really good against the run, he can receive the ball quite well, so it should be able to help offset that and be fine. Then Joe Mixon, I have ranked at 12. The ECR and him is 9, so I have him 3 spots behind the ECR. Not a big difference there going up against Atlanta. It's a lukewarm matchup. I talked about it in my wide receiver video. I think that Cincinnati is going to try to take the early and big lead, to take some of those shots deep down to Jamar Chase, assuming that they aren't going to be able to defend him. And with that, I think that the rushing attack will be fairly predictable and big chunks of yardage won't be easy. And Joe Mixon already hasn't really done a great job with big chunks of yardage, but it's a decent enough matchup. I might move him. I'll see what the projections say on him. They'll probably be a little further back, so he might end up falling even a little further back for me, but you have to start him this week going up against Atlanta. Then for my running back 2s, start off at 13, I have Josh Jacobs, then Breece Hall, Aaron Jones, Ezekiel Elliott, Clyde Edwards-Helaire. There's going to be an edit there because of a big yawn. Followed by Jeff Wilson Jr., Najee Harris, Travis Etienne Jr., Raheem Mostert, Dameon Pierce, David Montgomery, and Tony Pollard. So we'll start off with Breece Hall, who I have 4 spots behind the ECR. ECR on him is 10. We'll call it 3 spots because of Jonathan Taylor. And so going up against Denver, not a good matchup, of course, kind of like DeAndre Swift there against Dallas. He can receive the ball too. He's been a beast. But man, Denver's scary. So there's some reasons to be scared about him this week. Then Aaron Jones, I have at 12. The ECR on him is 15. Good God. So really, once we factor in Jonathan Taylor, I'm pretty much right there with the ECR. Going up against Washington this week, hopefully it'll be a good week for Aaron Jones. I know Aaron Jones owners are hoping for that. I mean, of course, but he hasn't been what they wanted, that's for sure. Then Ezekiel Elliott, I highlighted for a reason here. I think I just wanted to point out, so I have him at 16, the ECR on him is 18. Good God. I have him ranked at 16th, the ECR on him is 18. So I think I just wanted to point out that I really, really like Zeke Elliott this week going up against Detroit, red hot matchup, and I think this will be another, good week for him. Then Travis Wilson, I have 4 spots behind. I can't stop yawning. This is terrible. I don't get this. I haven't yawned all night. And then I start recording and I can't freaking stop yawning. So I have Jeff Wilson. Oh my God. I have Jeff Wilson 4 spots behind the ECR going up against Kansas City. So I would probably have him even further back. But obviously, there'd be some decent scoring attempts. But I'm a little concerned about Jeff Wilson for the same reasons I was last week. Expect San Francisco to be throwing more, not as reliant upon that run. But once again, it is a good matchup, so that's helpful. Then Travis Etienne, I have 3 spots higher than the ECR. I have him at 20. ECR and him is 23. It's pretty much a neutral matchup. But he is good. He's been trending in the right direction. Last week, I had James Robinson ranked just above him. I don't think I ended up talking about them, but I wanted to just mention that that's like the last week that'll happen. But I just needed one more week of evidence to cement the fact that the team was truly shifting things to Travis Etienne. It wasn't just one of those things. It's for real, and so that seems to be the case. And I think he's a pretty nice start this week, and probably for the rest of the season. Then David Montgomery, I have 7 spots behind the ECR. ECR and him is 16. I have him at 23 going up against New England. I don't believe there's going to be a whole heck of a lot of opportunities in that game. Plays a run should be pretty low there with 2 teams who want to run the ball. And I do think that New England does a better job of that in this game, which also makes it tougher for David Montgomery to have a good week. So I'm scared about David Montgomery this week, and there are people that I would rather take a shot on than him, including potentially Tony Pollard. So who I have 4 spots ahead of the ECR. ECR and him's 28. I have him at 24. Going up against Detroit. Why can't both of those backs feed? I don't see why not. So then we get to my RB3s, starting off at the 25th spot with Brian Robinson. Then it goes like this on down. Kareem Hunt, J.K. Dobbins, James Robinson, Melvin Gordon the third. I didn't even plan that. And then Eno Benjamin, Tyler Algier, A.J. Dillon, Antonio Gibson, Rashad White, Michael Carter, Khalil Herbert, Latavius Murray, and Yon. This is just freaking ridiculous. Brian Robinson, I have a good feeling on this week. I think it could definitely find his way into the end zone. I did express some concerns about him in maybe the waiver wire video. Yeah. So, not the biggest of concerns, just as far as usage goes. I don't know that Antonio Gibson will be ignored as much as he was last week. And but this is a week Green Bay's not been very good. So they're going to want to establish the run, I think, here against Green Bay. And Brian Robinson is the person that you use to establish the run. I think that's what happened last week, too. So I don't think that... I don't know that wasn't coach speak as much as anything as far as Antonio Gibson not coming in until the second half. And I kind of liked it. Like, fresh legs came in there after Brian Robinson loosened him up all day. And then let's move on down to J.K. Dobbins, who I have 4 spots ahead of ECR. ECR and him's 31. I have him at 27. It's a really, really good matchup. So this is totally dependent on if no news comes out this week further about J.K. Dobbins and he's like limited practice participant, there's no comments from the coaches all week, he'll go down further. But if there's like good news, he could move up a little bit. Maybe I should fall back on the fact that this is a divisional game, like I talked about in the wide receiver rankings, and it doesn't really matter what Cleveland's run defenses look like this season. They're going to do, they're going to play hard against Baltimore and make everything tough. We'll see how things shake out. But all in all, whoever's the starter there in Baltimore this week, that's not the worst place to be in. There goes my cat again. Then I wanted to talk about these Denver backs here. I really don't want to play any of them unless we get... This is another, let's hear what do the coaches have to say. Maybe something came out today. I haven't had a chance to hop on Reddit and catch up on the news, and will finally have my phone back on Thursday, so I just get notifications, all the good stuff, and it's a lot easier for me to just look on there. But anyways, I really don't like any of them. But for now, this is where I have Melvin Gordon parked. And then Eno Benjamin, obviously, I think James Conner is expected back this week, so Eno is won't be this high if that is the case. Then AJ Dillon, I have 4 spots behind the ECR. ECR on him is 27. I have him at 31. Going up against Washington this week. Teams like to pass against Washington because they suck against the pass. Will Green Bay be able to take advantage of that or not? I would hope so. I think enough. Enough that I don't really want to trust a guy who hasn't done anything since week 1. Yeah, I think week 1 was his best week. How sad is that? That wasn't even amazing. Then Rachaad White, I have 4 spots ahead of ECR. ECR on him is 37. I have him at 33. It's a good matchup, so I see a world where he could just get some extra opportunities in there if they're doing well against Carolina. Get some usage. Let Leonard Fournette rest a little bit. Makes sense to me. Then my final 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 dudes that I have ranked here. I just made a cutoff once I started to get to the guys that don't matter. But I'll have some of these not ranked even, probably. Well, no, I think I'll have them all ranked. But I'll probably have other guys even ahead. Jamal Williams, for instance, might be a little bit higher. I have him at 37, 3 spots higher than the ECR at 40. Going up against Dallas, the only thing about Jamal is he gets a lot of the goal line work, so I don't expect that to stop. And, Mike Boone, okay. So, that is it for the running backs. The quarterbacks and tight ends videos will be coming out later on today for the rankings, and let's just end this there. So peace out. Thank you very much for stopping on through. Once again, rankings will all be up on Thursday, up on www.theFFWatch.com. Like, subscribe, comment. Appreciate it all. Bye-bye.